when men are telling stories, obviously the way the women have been portrayed, I perhaps sometimes they're just like appendages to a man. The women are very subservient to the men, even in our pop culture stories. You need to stand up for the other women, and when your friends are making a casual joke or especially slut shaming someone that she slept her way through, you need to tell them to shut up, because these are small things that are going to kind of clean the environment a little bit. Hi, this is Kanika and you're watching my interview on peepingmoon.com.
Kanika, there's a lot being spoken about your characters, especially the female characters being flawed and coming from the space of not being the perfect ones. Now, I also have this one thing in mind that this is very interesting that even when you write a character, when you put across film, female character, written by a female screenwriter. I have been reading a lot of comments and I'm realizing that it's just not about the character, because with Haseen, I actually saw this burst out क्योंकि एक फीमेल फ्लॉट कैरेक्टर है और एक फीमेल राइटर ने लिखा है. व्हाट एग्जैक्टली डू पीपल मीन बाय दैट? व्हाई कांट द स्टोरीज, द कैरेक्टर्स एंड द राइटर be genderless? You should be applauding a character, a story, but not insinuating that a gender is important. And with Haseen, I saw this toxic thing because the entire thing boiled down, एक flawed रानी, एक फीमेल कैरेक्टर को एक फीमेल राइटर ने इस तरीके से लिखा है. When will we get over this female? As Vidya Balan says, a film is a film. There is no female lead. A film is a film. Period.
Means it's as simple as, I mean, when the audience is actually watching the film, क्या बोलते हैं, अरे एक फीमेल कैरेक्टर की फिल्म देखने जा रहे हैं, they are not, they just want to see a film that they get entertained with. They are not sitting with these parameters firstly. Secondly, yes, this obsession with a female centric and female.
The word female itself is people are obsessed with.
No, I'll tell you why. The fact is that, for the longest period of time, cinema was, the storytellers were men. As like whole of the 90s, 80s, 70s, the directors were men. The writers were men. You tell me, can you remember any female director in these 4 decades that I have?
I think apart from Honey Rani, I can't recall a single name instinctively.
Exactly. So are you seeing the ratio of a woman telling stories and writing characters versus the men? It is absolutely male dominated. So what has happened? What has happened is that when men are telling stories, obviously the way the women have been portrayed, perhaps sometimes they're just like appendages to a man. The women are very subservient to the men, even in our pop culture stories. They are just like अच्छी माँ, अच्छी बहू, गंदी बहू, अच्छी बेटी, गंदी बेटी. And mostly अगर वो मॉडर्न कपड़े डालती है तो गंदी है, अगर वो मंदिर जाती है तो अच्छी है.
आज भी हम उसी सास बहू में चल रहे हैं वैसे भी.
हमने ये ऐसा एक अच्छी गंदी, सिगरेट गंदी, और अगर गाना अच्छा गाती है अच्छी, या अच्छा, एंड इवन इट्स सो सिंपल एज, अरे पपीज को वो खिला रही है फूलों से, मतलब इट्स जस्ट सॉफ्ट टॉय से खेलती है. इट इज जस्ट लाइक, it's almost bordering on retarded, and it is like I have not met, and also they're so unidimensional. I'm not making fun of anyone. I'm just saying that so
but there's
far,
more to.
But so far, no attention was given to female characters. They were not even written out like human beings. Human beings who have, what is a human being? A human being is a flawed character who he feels something, has a strength, has a weakness, has their own goals, dreams. But हमने कभी attention दी नहीं औरतों को. तो अभी क्या हो गया कि even when I'm treating my women like human beings, it's like, oh wow. So my thing is that I'm not doing something extraordinary. Let me tell you that. I am just writing female characters as
They are.
They should be, as they are, because in my vicinity, my friends, my family, my mother, my sister, I have not seen a unidimensional woman. I've seen women who are complicated. I've seen women who have ambition. I've seen women who are opinionated.
Like, if
and
I have
rate
to
them as
cut
they
you
are.
short, I remember when Rumi character came out, I had a discussion with a couple of friends that yeah, like this is not Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam going on, because I remember there were a couple of reviews, you have given a revamp to Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam, but why can't a woman have a choice of falling in and out of love and moving on? Why does it has to be always the right way? What is the right way was my point when I was discussing with people. Like, it's like telling you that a Kabir Singh is wrong, but then again that's a story to tell, and that's for the maker and the writer to tell. We actually end up having too many opinions about too many things, which is good, but why do we end up circling everything around women is the problem I have.
See, the problem is that what I'm understanding right now is that we are using morality
Oh yes, as a compass.
as a compass, and in a very wrong, restrictive manner. Recently, what I am understanding and what I'm facing, we are obsessed with morality and our sense of what our understanding of morality is. We feel that what we understand as right and wrong is absolute, and that is where the problem starts. The point is that when I'm writing a Rumi, when I'm writing a Mukku, when I'm writing a Nanki, these characters are women who are true to the environment that they are in. I remember that, for Rumi, when you talk about Rumi, there was a thing that why does Rumi smoke and drink? And are you telling me that the only thing that you can see in Rumi's character is her smoking and drinking? Are you telling me that you're not able to see that Rumi is a conflicted character who also is making her own choices and brave choices, and she's okay that she's
and
like
she's
shattered
and she's
in
bhugtoing
love?
for it. ऐसा भी नहीं है.
And so what is our obsession with this black and white woman? Our obsession with either she's a good girl or she's a bad girl. Our obsession with
The
that
problem is our
morality a
parameters
problem.
of good and bad, everyone has their own yardsticks to measure.
Absolutely.
So I think the refreshing thing, which of course maybe will take time for some people, is that some characters can just be. You don't have to
Now
tell
I'll tell you
me
something.
it's-
A lot of people wrote that, she wrote Rumi, she wrote Mukku, and she wrote these characters, and then she wrote Rani. So
that's how our question started.
So I'm telling stories, and yes,
And I think as a writer, you have a right to
right
tell
to-
the
yeah,
story, and not every story needs to be morally
in fitting in your moral compass. See, I'll tell you the two things. Yeah, like even the whole debate and discussion around Haseen Dilruba, the glorification of domestic violence per se. Like, I am very happy that these conversations are happening, because I agree with the thought that we should not glorify domestic violence.
Of course.
I am completely in sync with this argument. But all I'm trying to say is that when we are, what is the yardstick with which we're saying? When I'm saying that, as a maker, it may have landed like that for you, but when we're trying to explain to you that, the gender politics of that was correct, that the woman, that Rani was a empowered woman. Now, when a woman is empowered to walk out of the marriage, to take all the decisions, to put an end to it, and she continues to do so, at no point have I shown her less empowered than the man. So my gender politics is on point. So my understanding of gender politics does not tell me that this is in any way glorification, and I stick to it. And let me have that freedom to tell my stories of characters that are imperfect, because if I'm not going to do it in cinema, where else am I going to
And that's the
tell
only
these
skill to
stories
tell the stories.
of imperfect characters? Secondly, I also I also feel that we'll have to, like, there's another thing that I've noticed, that we are very harsh and judgmental about female characters. What about the male characters? Why in Haseen Dilruba there's a furor about Rani's morality? What about Neil, who's almost slept with his bhabhi?
And
Has anyone spoken to me about it? That Karika, what a bad character Neil was.
and he still has the balls to go to the cousin and say that yes, I did that. Like
Like, if you are throwing brickbats for Rani,
Exactly.
why am I not hearing anything about Neil?
That's what my point
He's
is.
he's much worse than the woman. So I'm just saying that it is, this whole double standard is so consistent. Off screen, on screen, either udhar, real life mein, this is how it is. The only way, I'm telling all the women out there, you know, I'm telling you all that this is how it is. Now just go for it. Don't let it deter you. I think I've started enjoying it now, that this is how it's going to be.
Let's
This is
win the game.
consistent. Let's just win the game. And what does it mean? It means just get up and do your work. Because
And
nobody,
keep telling those stories, because the day you will stop, nobody is going to pay attention.
see, I'll tell you something, nobody can deny work. You know, if you're getting up in the morning and working and doing your job and doing it in an honest manner, nobody can deny you what is due to you. So, but the only thing is to keep your mental space strong enough, because I know it's easier said than done, because I've had days where I've broken down, and I've had like days where it felt almost impossible for me to wake up and go to work the next day. But that's where you need to kind of give yourself a pep talk and say that, you know, like if I do that, then that's when I really lose. If I don't get up and go back to work and work harder, that's when I lose. This is not this kind of debate, discussion, furor. This is all good. This is all healthy, as long as you're going out there and working and not letting this get to you. And another thing I also want to kind of you know, mostly to the women, that, you know, let's stop making excuses for men who are around us. Let's stop making excuses for our
That's
boyfriends.
lovely.
Let's stop making excuses for our husbands. Let's stop, because we need to also draw the line. You know, maybe they don't know better. We need to, when they're making these stupid jokes, these sly jokes, we need to tell them it's not okay. You know, when we know that there is a transgression that has been made, we need to step up a little bit and say that it's not okay, because that will also go a long way in making not only our industry but also the general environment more friendly towards a woman. And you know, the more I'm and also I'll tell you something, as a personal, it's a personal thing, that the more I'm going out there and working and you know, this whole agenda of, you know, putting your point across and you know, saying things out loud and not being quiet is getting fueled a lot more, because one just sees the double standards a lot more, you know. So the commitment to kind of continue doing your work and being successful at it literally is the only answer. And
you can't stop. You have to
I
keep
don't
on
want
moving.
to.
Yeah.
I don't want to, because where today when I have an opportunity to tell my stories, it has come with a lot of hard work, and it has come with a lot of sacrifice, and it has and I'm not going to you know, be apologetic about it, or, you know, take a step back, or be a little coy, or be a little, you know, fit into the definition of, you know, women, like just talk a little less, just have a little less of an opinion, just because you will be more affable. I'm not letting any of those you know, what should I say, those yardsticks kind of get in my way to do what I want to do and to be where I want to be. Yes, I'm ambitious, and yes, I may have to work 10 times harder than a man in a room, but I will, and that's about it. And like I've also said, that I'm also very cognizant of the fact that every woman that is there in my industry today needs to be lauded and very well deserved. And I also wish that more women are in the position to hire and fire. Yeah, I want them to be the HODs. I want them to hire more women. I just want more representation, because that's when we'll kind of, you know, have the equality
equal
of
playing
numbers.
field.
And yeah, and in all of this, another very important thing which I want to tell younger girls is sisterhood. Sisterhood is very, very important. You need to stand up for the other chicks. You need to stand up for the other women. And when your friends are making a casual joke, or especially slut shaming someone, that, you know, she slept her way through, you need to tell them to shut up, because these are small things that are going to kind of clean the environment a little bit.
I
It's a
totally
small
agree.
step, but it's an important step. And if you are also involved in that slut shaming, you need to pause, Because tomorrow when you are doing good work, when you are
Somebody will take it
going
from
up there,
you.
somebody's going to take it away from you by saying that, oh, it's because of a man. So don't be a party to it. So for the last 6 months or so, I'm actually wanting to talk to the women, the young girls, the ones who are holding positions of power, the ones who are actually entering, or the ones who are working, that you guys, women have a lot of power. It's just that they need to know, and they need to be aware of it, and they need to use it correctly. And by power, all I mean is the power to draw a line.
Exactly.
And draw a boundary for themselves and for other women in their workspace. And you will see a change, because I do remember that every place that I have worked in, I have gone there, and just because I speak out, just because I say, dude, this is okay and this is not okay, I have seen a difference. I have seen a difference not only for me, but for the other women who's been working with me. So you guys can do it wherever you are.
Kanika, there are two first. Before we close this interview, we have to give a note to. Of course, the Netflix top billing, for which we had this proper discussion, I'm really happy about. But especially that cover which you landed at an international magazine. What do you think that signifies for you? Not just as Kanika Dhillon, but Kanika Dhillon, the writer, the woman who tells stories, the woman who's telling stories to the masses, and somebody's getting uncomfortable is just like...
So basically, I feel that that's a great step towards a changing perception of a screenplay writer. I think I love the fact that I've had that opportunity to take that step, and to be able to, in a way, also kind of unbox the whole writer's box that usually writers are put in. So so it means a lot, and I want to continue to, in fact, unbox the whole writer's box in a way that this is the only, like, being a writer, this is the only thing that you can do, this is the only recognition that one can have, these are the only this is the only remuneration that one can take. I have aspirations to be a producer as well. I've co-produced Haseen Dilruba, and now a lot of my work I will be writing and producing. So I don't want to have a ceiling per se. I don't want to have a benchmark that, okay, this is where one needs to stop, or this is where one needs to go. I want to kind of continue this journey onward and upward while I tell the stories that I want to tell, and let's see what comes on the way. And I'm like totally excited about it, and I'm glad that as I go along the way, there are a lot of precedences that one can have, because when I was struggling, I didn't have those. So
maybe you
so
can
I'd
be
like
part
to
for
kind
many
of
more women out
contribute.
there. If at all, the only gist I have from this conversation is that Kanika is ready, not ready, Kanika is actually paving path for a lot of young girls out there. And I hope that anyone who wants to be a part of this business, as we call it, the film business, but somebody who really wants to tell the stories, just don't give up. There is a long road, and I think we can take examples from Kanika and other fellow writers out there, gender or no gender. There is a lot to tell. But thank you, Kanika. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for being honest. I mean, there were legit zero filters you even just used. But thank you for being just you, and two more stories.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thank you.